Welcome back, everyone. This week we're doing the weekly performance report. The link will be in the description below if you want to go over and look at it or look at any of my other work. So let's get into this. I ended the week up 1.68%, which I'm having a better March than the S&P is, but the fact that I'm so far behind the S&P, it's not going to, it might close the gap assuming all things continue this trajectory for the remainder of the month, but nonetheless, I think I'm up roughly 5% on the month, something like that. Now, I'm up 1.68% on the week. But here's the thing that really, irritates me, let's say. And that is that the cannabis stocks had one hell of a rally on Friday. And my portfolio is 30% cannabis stocks. And on top of that, on Friday, my portfolio was up 3.75%. It's one of the five, but definitely top 10 best days I've had since Cup of Coffee has been around, January 1st, 2023. So, with Friday being a 3.75% up day for me, I still only closed the week out 1.68%, which really speaks to how much of a laggard some of these names are, how some of them aren't moving or how they're moving sideways, and how much isn't being done. So I got to thinking with these cannabis stocks. I thought to myself, okay, catalysts happen, everything goes well, happily ever after. They're up 100%. 30% of your portfolio being up 100% means that your entire portfolio is up roughly 33%. And then I got to thinking about that. It's like, even with a third of your portfolio, just imagine if this happened last year instead of this year, right? Whether the NASDAQ close out like 55%. So even if you had a third of your portfolio do 100%, that still wouldn't have been enough to beat the NASDAQ last year. Just interesting framing and juxtaposition to think about. So, with that, Grown Rogue is now the largest position in my portfolio at 20%. Now, this is another frustrating thing. Grown Rogue will be the smallest position this portfolio has ever had, and by small I mean market cap, with 80 some odd $million market cap. And yet it's 20% of my portfolio, and which is my position max. And there's interesting things that happen when you buy and own this sort of illiquid stock. Like, people complain about Sibanye Stillwater being illiquid, or I don't know, a couple, $1 billion market cap companies. There's a big difference between 80 million and a billion. And for instance, so this does not show it. So if you look at the farthest left column, last price change, well, there's another column that I don't show, and the reason is in order to show the percentage of account column, I have to hide the very first left column, which is, I believe, the last. One moment, I'll tell you. It's something like its closing price for the day is what it is. And so there's really no quote unquote tracking error with Tidewater or Kodiak Gas Service or Sprout and on it goes. But with Grown Rogue, there is, because, and let me show you what I'm talking about. It tells you, well, I don't have that column either, because a farther right column after the percent of account is cost basis. My cost basis is 48 cents. And it's telling you that I'm percent total gain loss. It's telling you I'm up 1%. And the thing is my cost basis is 48 cents. And even though Fidelity recognizes that it closed at 48 cents, interestingly enough, well, so let me show you this. Stock charts will tell you that it closed at 53.5 cents and was up 5.5% on the day. And then if you just go to Google, it'll tell you that it closed at 54 cents on the day. So that's interesting. 53.5 cents, 54 cents. And yet this tells me 48 cents. Now, ultimately, the one where the stock is being held at and sold for is the one that matters, but that's a consequence of an 80 some odd million market cap company that is highly concentrated in its ownership. So, whatever. If you would like for me to explain further as to why that's such a position, that write-up will probably be coming out, I would imagine, in the next few weeks. It's actually a really simple, basic idea, but I don't want to butcher it here, so I won't. And so there's that. Then, I'm just really frustrated. You could say that I closed the week up 1.68%, and yet Friday, I didn't realize Monday through Thursday was that bad. To be honest, I mean, I'm kind of desensitized to some extent to things. It doesn't help, for instance, St. Joe, I think, fell a few percent throughout the week, and it's 15% of my portfolio. And Siboney, Stillwater, a lot of these names kind of pulled back or treaded water for the week, it seems like. And that outlandish move for my account on Friday is, if Friday didn't turn out as well as it did, and well, you could say that since seemingly I'm only up 1% on 20% of my portfolio, when in reality I'm up more along the lines of 12%, that kind of makes an impactful difference. And that's the frustrating part, because you might say, well, how much am I up really? And well, the answer is, well, I'm really up 1% because that's what's being recognized. And that's, depending on how you play the bid game versus the ask. So theoretically, I'm up 12%, but seemingly the one place that matters says I'm up 1%. And the reason that disparity matters is because it's 20% of my portfolio. So Valeris was 17%, and now it's 15%, so that's frustrating. And then uranium's just kind of shrinking away. It was doing well, and then now it's not doing so well, and now I have such little cash that I can't really make it a sizable position. I haven't sold any. I'm not any less bullish on it, but I mean, I sold Louisiana Pacific. I sold Town Square. They raised their dividend. They reported earnings and raised their dividend 5 or 6%. So anybody who owns that, congratulations. And especially to anybody who bought in when I bought in, because that really gives you a nice dividend yield. And let's see, SurgePay, which I still kind of feel obligated to provide a cursory comment on from time to time. That thing really fell off, and the ACP program, I guess, isn't. I'm not quite sure what news has come from that, or if any at all. Are they just diddle-dicking around and not doing anything with it? Nonetheless, SurgePay dropped 20-30% or something, and I don't own either one, but I've owned them before, and that's kind of what's going on. Rambling now. Tidewater's perking up. That's nice. Even if you ask me, what's going to be the first stock that crosses, say, 100% in my portfolio, the answer is I have no idea. I didn't think Kodiak Gas Services would be doing this well this quickly. And And yeah, I mean, I've had so much fluctuation between the top 1% or the top first place, second place, third place. It's just, who knows? Like anything could could happen. It kind of makes it interesting in reality. So, with that said, I think I'll finish it here. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching. And until next time.